Congress members' salary should be the median wage for the district they represent. Congress members' raises should be voted on in a referendum by their constituents. It would stop the cinema types who get elected then go back on all their promises and hang their constituents out to dry to chase that sweet corporate donor money. It has never made sense to me that Congress gets to approve their own pay raises. Also, they shouldn't be allowed to accept corporate donations. Obviously. Punishing politicians with low wages sounds and feels like a good idea. 'Cause our primary problem with them is that they're out-of-touch assholes. But in practice, lowering their wages to the median of the people they represent would probably be detrimental. It rewards politicians who have generational wealth and discourages regular people from taking part. You'd also be creating a system where trying to lower the quality of life of your opponents' constituents hurts your opponent's literal quality of life, giving them less resources to oppose you with. That's not to say I think the salaries are fine where they are. Just lowering it for the sake of lowering it might be a bad idea. Salaries are not the issue. IRC they haven't had a pay raise since 2011 and put on this act of, see, we are not getting raises either, you poors. The money is in the lobbying. It doesn't matter how much they get paid. Most of them are already rich. And if they are not rich, they soon become rich after a few years of kickbacks and insider trading. They'll make it up on kickbacks and bribes. So your plan is that the districts with the lowest median wages should have the least compensated representatives? Seems should be turned around. I don't agree that poor districts should have poor representation. I think the more important thing is any income, investment, capital gain must be publicly disclosed. If you suddenly have a new house and can't explain where the money came from, you're out. Salary is not as important to most of the older members. But those donations, bribes, and insider information for stocks, those should definitely be publicly stated. Members of Congress live off bribes. This wouldn't change anything. Take the money and lobbying out of politics first. No, 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 no. When you don't pay people decently to be elected officials, only people who are already rich will be able to afford to run for office, which is admittedly already a problem. But this kind of thinking would make it worse. They already have to be rich to campaign. As in favor of labor politics as I am, the DC Metro is very expensive to rent in or near. Median individual income from many districts would not make rent in DC. So that thought would also need housing provided. Also, when you don't pay legislators well, you bar all but the upper class from entry and incentivize politicians to take more bribes. I am not in favor of exorbitant compensation, but I do think my representative and senators deserve what they currently earn due to the demands of the position and the costs of maintaining a DC apartment and whatever residence they had back home. Poorer districts would pay less for presumably equal work. This opens doors to less desirable candidates and worse representation. I would suspect the candidate from the poor district would have to work harder to try to raise the conditions in their district, still resulting in lower pay for them. I could get behind some calculation of the median U.S. salary of $67,500. In 2022, 258% of that would be $174,150. The current salary of Congress is $174,000. When Congress votes to raise their own pay, it should trigger a corresponding raise in the minimum wage. I have always thought they should reflect public service wages, e.g., teachers, nurses, etc. I believe the wages, expenses are fairly insignificant compared to the availability of donations, gifts, and promises of future employment for themselves and their family. As much as I like the idea, if you want more representative politicians, then banning large single and corporate campaign contributions would, in my mind, be a better way to get that. I'd also try to find a fairer way of drawing congressional and state district level maps. Leaving it up to the current incumbent to decide for the next election is progressively getting more and more partisan for something supposed to be representative. You really think their wages have anything to do with their income? I am not opposed to your suggestion, but you have to get rid of the corruption first. New people in Congress shouldn't be a millionaire overnight with a salary of $100,120K a year or whatever they make. Investigations and people holding them accountable needs to happen. And Congress should live in dorm-style apartments. By providing housing, it opens the job up to more people. This is another reason why elections should be tax-funded. It's cost prohibitive to so many talented individuals. The vast majority congressmen don't rely on their salary. Most are rich to begin with. They've already found other ways to scam. Because their current salary apparently isn't enough. It would never happen. But in addition to forced retirement at retirement age, I would love immediate disqualification for anybody with say $10 mil plus in assets and forced retirement for anybody who magically hits that number during their tenure regardless of age. $100 mil? Go sit on a beach if you're bored, or buy a soulless widget factory if you want another nickel you'll never need. You lunatic.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.